Hi, today we're going to be taking a look at the Academic Search Elite database by EBSCOhost. So the first step is to head to the library page via the link in the upper right hand corner on any of the Bucks pages. From here we want to take a look at our databases page, this golden laptop icon here. Once we're on the database page, you'll notice that Academic Search Elite is right at the top with a little EBSCOhost in parentheses afterwards. You'll also see EBSCOhost in parentheses after a bunch of them. EBSCOhost is a company that makes a whole bunch of database products. However, some of your professors will affectionately refer to Academic Search Elite as just EBSCOhost. So then we can click into the database and get the search screen. Looks a little bit different than Google. It has 3 boxes and a bunch of options at the bottom. We don't have to worry too much about all these options, except you're generally going to want to click full text so that the actual article is linked to your results and you don't have to go and try to track it down somewhere else. You also might need the scholarly peer-reviewed academic journals button. Some of your classes will require that kind of resource. One thing to note about Academic Search Elite is that unlike some of our other databases, it covers pretty much every subject under the sun: science, sociology, health, etc. So when you search for something simple like MARC, you have to make sure that you are on the right topic. So we have a article at the top here, mirror mark test performed on jackdaws, which has to do with birds. We have MARC as mentioned in the Bible, religious studies. We have MARCs in DNA research. So we want to make sure if we're doing birds that we're getting results on birds, or biology, we're getting results on biology. You can see that I got quite a few search results here, 150,000 or more. I generally will want to narrow this down. I'm actually going to back up to my search screen and do a different search. So now I've narrowed it down. Instead of just having MARC, I have MARC and DNA replication. The reason I put these two in different boxes is that unlike Google, the databases want a single idea per box. So DNA replication is 2 words, but it's a single idea, and MARC is obviously its own word. From here we can see that instead of 150,000 results, we're down to 80, which is much more manageable. We can see also that our search terms are in bold in the title. That's going to help us make the determination, is this article generally on the right track here? So if I look at the spatiotemporal program of DNA replication is associated with specific combinations of chromatin marks in human cells, which a lot of you have probably read and sounds absolutely fascinating. I can click into that one, get some more information. You'll see the title, the authors, the source. It's from the Public Library of Science Genetics, which is a highly regarded journal. And down here we have the abstract, or the summary, which is going to tell you in a few sentences exactly what the article is about, to help you make the determination, is it worth the time to read it, is it going to help you on this paper. If you decide yes, there is a toolbar on the right hand side which will allow you to manipulate the article, print it, email it to yourself, cite it. If we click on the citation button, it's going to give us a variety of different styles to choose from. If you want MLA, for example, it's near the bottom. We just want to copy this over to a word processing program of some kind and make sure that it's correct. For example, all of these need to be double spaced. They need to have a hanging indent of a 1/2 inch. And they're generated by computers, so just make sure they look correct. If we want to grab the actual full text of the article itself, we want to look in the upper left-hand side. It's going to say either PDF full text, HTML full text, linked full text, something like that. One thing I will note is the print button in EBSCOhost databases in general and Academic Search Elite in specific. It does not work for PDFs. So to print a PDF, we want to actually click into it and look for the ingenious system of the invisible print button. So as you can see, if I move my mouse around in the center here down to the lower right hand corner, a print and save button will suddenly appear from nowhere, and it will disappear when I move my mouse away. Why they did this, I'm not really sure, but they did it. So if you want to save the PDF, you can save it from the diskette here, which you probably have no idea what that is, or you can use the print button to print out the article. This concludes our tour of the wonderful world of Academic Search Elite by EBSCOhost. If you are still getting stuck, ask one of the librarians via email, text, instant message, or come into the library and we'll help you out. Good luck.